hop to the purple rug. The title of her talk, Playing is Learning.
Daniela and her partner were in a tricky situation. As the boat lurched about in the waves, Daniela scrambled to assess the height and the speeds of the waves as they buffeted the boat. With a deep sigh and a large frown, she turned to her partner. Dad, I don't think it's going to hold. We're going to have to try something different. Now, this particular waterfront is a table-sized plexiglass structure with a small motor to make waves. The boat builders are 12 years of age and under, and they have access to such sophisticated materials as Scotch tape, wooden dowels, cardboard, and some canvas. What's become clear to me, though, from watching curious young problem solvers like Daniela, who happens to be playing in a children's museum, a maker's space, which is one of about 20 in the Children's Museum where I partner to do research and support graduate student learning. These young problem solvers like Daniela in children's museums have taught me that there's an important symbiotic relationship between children's museums and schools. In children's museums, children learn very important experiences that help to prepare them for the formal experiences in schools. They learn at least 3 important things. First of all, they have experiences with access and inclusivity. When children enter a children's museum, they have independent agency to design their own play. This is really important because research shows us that when youth design their own play and engage in their own preferences with play, they learn that they have responsibility for their learning. Secondly, they immediately observe that all of the materials and spaces are size appropriate and immediately accessible regardless of ability. All of the materials are age appropriate and engaging. They play side by side with peers who vary in age, life experience, interest, preference, skill. And they develop values that all children can play, all children can learn. They take these values of inclusion and access to school with them and develop these beliefs about inclusivity and growth mindsets. Schools can build on these values as they support students' social and emotional learning. Secondly, children's museums help to support key social and academic development. Exhibits in children's museums are designed to draw students in to complex and creative problem solving. In my partner museum, there's an exhibit called the Snow Zone. It's a room filled with hundreds of 1-foot square foam white blocks. In a typical setting, which you see here, a parent and a child is building a snow fort, which incidentally is more difficult than you would anticipate. Unknowingly, they're using scientific method principles. They stack and they restack. They wouldn't tell you this, but they rely on principles of mass and gravity, surface area and perimeter. They problem solve and they persist because it's fun and it's challenging and engaging. And this is critical because research shows us that children who are willing to engage in play-based challenges are those same students who show more motivation and persistence in critical, challenging academics in middle and upper elementary school, particularly in the areas of science and math. And while these students and children, rather, they're children in museums, while these children are tinkering about, it's also likely they have the opportunity to apply really advanced social skills because they're interacting with other children they've never met before. So they have to sensitively cooperate, problem solve, delegate, engage in collaboration. And teachers tell us that these skills are among those most valued as children transition into school. Which brings me to a third reason that learning in children's museums helps to support learning in schools. And it's that children's museums are uniquely positioned to teach young children about the importance of intergenerational learning. When children and parents play together in museums, children learn that parents are fun teachers. Parents are more willing to engage in creative and imaginative play. They draw on their prior learning. They help connect the children's previous experiences with the learning that's happening right now, and children's learning becomes more in-depth and valued. Children take these trusted, healthy learning relationships into schools. We know that children tend to create relationships with teachers that mirror caregiver relationships, and early trusting relationships help to support healthy adaptation to school. Now, the takeaway is that the place of school, the place of formal learning, is more successful in cooperation with places of informal learning, like children's museums. Children's museums help to promote our youngest of citizens as they transition into formal school by helping them have experiences with access and inclusivity, development of important social and academic skills, and promotion of positive intergenerational relationships. Thank you.